I'd be lying to you, the player, if I didn't agree that Universes Beyond products are selling exceptionally well. But there is a flaw, and as Wizards of the Coast continues to explore Universes Beyond, as these new products come to market and as more Commander decks are made, these flaws become more and more apparent with each and every set expansion. In today's video, we're going to discuss some of the flaws we've seen inside this product and what players need to know going forward before they put down their hard-earned money and buy these products. If Universes Beyond is selling so well, then why are they messing up? And why did they think we wouldn't notice, and now that we do notice, we get to talk about it? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. If you're new to this channel and you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what you saw here. And I'm looking forward to seeing your comments in the comment section. Every new subscriber, by the way, is helping us get closer to 20,000 subscribers and the 20,000 subscriber party that we're all invited to. So what's going on with Universes Beyond? What do I mean by fatal flaw? Well, there's actually several of them. They all start out small, but they get bigger the longer you wait. And Wizards of the Coast just hasn't fixed this problem over the years, and they really should, because it happened in every product line they do. So right now, Universes Beyond, I mean, you can talk about the secret layers. You can look at the ones they did for like Street Fighter, Stranger Things, Walking Dead. They all had an IP they licensed. They all gave you some kind of cool card. Some of them reskinned, some not. Remember the Evil Dead? I'm still waiting to get mine. It's going to be epic. When you look at those, they appeal to an audience. The audience buys them, consumes them, opens them, doesn't opens them, displays them, whatever they want, but they buy them. The cash is in Wizards' hands. Okay, so now Universes Beyond, Warhammer 40k. And I mean, I guess you could say we started here with Adventures in Forgotten Realms, Commander Legends, Battle for Baldur's Gate. You got those Commander decks there. But those were regularly priced. And yes, it's still kind of a Universes Beyond, but those sets were kind of underpowered, kind of weak. A lot of complaints from players in a lot of areas. Warhammer 40k didn't have that. Epic artwork. Well-received, well-engineered product that a lot of players enjoyed. I mean, those Surge Foil decks were going for over $1,000. What could they do wrong that ruins that? They had the non-Surge Foil ones, just the regular ones in case players didn't want to spend the big bucks. Those were going for $549 or $599 at the time, and now they're down to $349, $300 depending on where you're shopping. Some places at Walmart, $100 but with a 50% off sticker on them. The problem with the Warhammer 40k is they reprinted them too often. They took the special out of it. The people who wanted to consume Warhammer 40k and buy those Magic products related to it bought them in the first and second wave. All the waves that came after were greed. They were hoping to sell them because they figured, look how much money we're making. Look how much cash is coming in. And they ruined it. They started to just beat a dead horse. Now we go ahead and we take a look at a product coming up. Right, we got Fallout to talk about, but let's look at Doctor Who and what's happening there. Doctor Who is different in many ways from Warhammer 40k. A lot of new cards. Instead of just a few that we saw in the Warhammer series, Doctor Who has a ton of new cards built into this set that appeal to a large audience of players who may not be Doctor Who fans. They may look at some of the cards being represented, suspend counter cards that can fit into other decks they're engineering. So Wizards got kind of smart, and they're trying to branch that out to a wider audience. And yes, they're still appealing, though, to the Doctor Who fans. So you get the initial glut. The 2 weeks were crazy, with these sales just coming in like mad wildfire. People buying the whole 4-pack set, but Timey-Wimey was selling the best. My top 10 a couple of weeks ago had the Displaced Dinosaurs selling thousands and thousands of copies. Part of that was stores cracking the boxes. And now, you know what happened? It fell off a cliff. It's down there. It's a smoldering wreck. Nobody's buying it. We're going to get there, though. And then, of course, after they tried to engineer the Doctor Who deck to appeal to a mass audience, and a lot of players buy it and open it up, what do you think happened on the secondary market? Did the cards stay expensive? Davros, the Dalek Creator, is like a 50-cent card. The price on the secondary market died. They died on opening because stores did do quite a few mass box openings of these products with leftover stock, because the stores realized something that Wizards should be realizing but hasn't caught on yet, they're not stocking extra because they know what happens when they stock extra. They're not asking for a restock. So unlike Warhammer 40k, which got multiple restocks, by the way, because again, it was selling really well, stores are stuck with a lot of that product on their shelves now. Remember, even if you have a couple of cases of that, that's still tying up $10,000 to $15,000 in inventory, depending on which ones you're carrying, the Surge, the regular, or a combination of both. The Doctor Who ones, though, if you look around, a lot of stores will say sold out. They're gone already. And they're not restocking it because they've learned their lesson. So Wizards doesn't need to beat the dead horse this time. They need to leave it alone, but chances are they already asked for a reprinting, expecting higher sales because they think they're being so smart by engineering cards that will work outside of Doctor Who and fit into a broader audience. And they think they're even smarter than that because we also have Fallout coming, and it looks really good. The artwork, the style, and again, Wizards has engineered cards that, yes, they'll work with the Fallout Commander decks, of course, that's what they're designed for, but those energy cards fitting with Sahelian stuff, they're going to have a whole bunch of players tearing into those to create and alter existing Commander decks. At the casual format, it gets kind of crazy sometimes, just wanting to try some crazy stuff out to see if you can make it work and see if your deck moves from like just a fun competitive deck all the way up to CDH, like I'm going to win it all type thing, okay? Players will go those extra steps to be the winner and be the first to experience winning like that. They're willing to pay for it. They're willing to buy the product, and Wizards of the Coast knows this. So when they engineer these cards, again, to a broader audience, but still focused on Fallout, they think they have a winner on their hand. But something else has happened. When Warhammer 40k was out there in the world, and everyone was loving it, and it started showing up at Walmart, and it just sat there. 120, 130 bucks. Then I saw it for 99, and then it was 99 with a 50% off coupon. That's $50 here in Canada, okay? Stores have it sitting on their shelves. I don't want to know how much is that distribution. Again, printed too much. But Doctor Who, prices fall off a cliff because nobody's buying it anymore. The singles are bottoming out. They're really cheap right now. What do you think happens to any sealed product that is sitting at distribution? That is sitting in a Wizard's warehouse? Well, it's got to get cleared out somehow. I'm not saying a massive, Amazon dump. I don't think it's going to go there. I think that Wizards has learned their lesson. They need to keep these things collectible, and they kind of killed the horse there with Warhammer 40k. So I think as they evolve and as they experiment with Universes Beyond, they are going to get a little more particular. I just feel that that's the way they would need to go to make sure the collectible stays inside this game, okay? So picture like you're going to a concert, and you're too lazy to buy tickets, and you plan on scalping the night of, figuring they'll be on discount after the first act is done, but nobody has any left because everyone did want to go to the show, and now you're out of luck. That's how Wizards may be marketing in the future, where it's like, hey, here's our initial run, we're done. We don't want to type the printers, we don't want extended contracts, we've moved on to other things. I think that may be the way they go. So now let's jump back here. We've got a great product like Doctor Who. It appealed to a certain audience. Some of the individual cards engineered to work outside of the Doctor Who universe and to be broken down and played in other things. Have you noticed, though, with the Warhammer 40k, Doctor Who, and even Fallout, I bet you it's going to be Fallout, and even with the Adventures in Forgotten Realms and most Commander decks we see built, they all have, I guess, I don't want to say a horrible mana base, but not a strong mana base, okay? They do that on purpose. They want you to go into the singles market and buy those cards on reprint or look for premium products that have the mana base. Being the most important part of the game is going to be your mana base. Wizards will keep those separated. They're not going to give you an amazing commander deck like Doctor Who and build in these amazing land cards to go with it. It'd be nice if they give us maybe the odd one only inside a commander deck. That'd be kind of cool. They'd have to go to that commander deck to get it, but I think that's less likely. And then don't forget, Warhammer 40k didn't have the collector box. They had the Surge foil. But Doctor Who, Fallout, we get the commander collector boxes. Very interesting take on how you have to try to get a foiled collection of it. It's another little side experiment they're doing to see how that works out. I don't think that's going to play the way they think it will. Sure, there'll be some sales and stores are going to open boxes and stuff, but I don't think it plays the way they think it's going to play in the future. I think players are getting far too savvy for that, but the idea that these products are at a higher price than the old, Adventures in Forgotten Realms, Innistrad, Cruden's and Hunt, all the regular commander decks, in the slight universe beyond of D&D, those ones there, they're all regularly priced, okay? And as Wizards has brought the profit margins up, and these new IPs have licensing rights and stuff, they've jacked these prices up for these commander decks really high in comparison to other decks, only to see them fall on sale. Remember the Commander Masters decks? Remember like all the amazing ones we saw there? That's IP they own. And even those are going discounting days. I've already seen some on sale. It's kind of funny. So you got to look around, but any player who's willing to wait, again, casual format, if you're willing to wait, you're going to save a lot of money. You're going to save a chunk of change just by sitting on the sidelines, either buying singles, which we know a lot of players are doing, but also just keeping your wallet closed until you find these deals and willing to take the risk that you may not be able to scalp the product cheap. How bad do you want it? Because there are always going to be players, when they see an IP, Marvel, when they see it come up, Marvel, they are going to see a lot of sales. I don't have Tourette's. I just keep saying Marvel. They are going to see sales, and they know that. Now, unlike D&D, if they don't mess up the Marvel characters we all love, and they do it properly, you might see real success in that product. If they downplay the characters or make them really just pathetic, then you know it's not going to go well, like the D&D sets. They had something there and they ruined it. They ruined their own IP. They could have made it such an amazing experience, but they weakened the cards too much. They got to play up to that when it's a player. Keep it as a standalone set and play up to it. The flaws they've experienced in the last couple of years are getting more, they're getting more creative, and the products are looking better. But the flaw of overpricing is still there with every product. The flaw of overprinting is there with every product. The flaw of the mana base is there with every product. And as Wizards tries to tweak these products, they're also going to try to tweak the price higher and higher. They will try to find a new upper limit inside the IP of Commander decks to see how far they can squeeze people's wallets, because they've done it everywhere else. And most players haven't noticed yet that they're just slowly chokeholding us on these Commander deck precons to try to get you through the door. How bad do you want to experience that? Can you feel it closing in? No, you can't feel it yet. Good. Keep buying. There's a fine line. Because if you can find the cards as singles for Doctor Who for pennies on the dollar, why would you ever buy the Commander deck? If you're looking for the Party Time deck, or you're looking for any of the Eldrazi ones now, look at the singles. Look how cheap these things are. Look how affordable they are just to buy the cards that you actually want from these decks, and then not worry about them for the future. It's very telling for how Wizards is treating the audience after the initial runs. I think they may change it to a more collectible thing, but I think it's going to take time. I don't think they're quite there. I think they're just starting to realize it now. It'll be interesting to see what happens later on. Either way, I'm looking forward to reading your comments in the comment section. How do you feel Wizards of the Coast could handle the Universe Beyond products better in the future? What can they do as a product line to make them better for players and a better experience? I definitely say tweak the mana line, or build a new set of lands for Commander that can be found once in a while inside these pre-con decks. I think that'd be an epic thing they could do to help boost that collectability going forward, and, you know, maybe tap into the pocketbook a bit. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out here on the channel. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for another video. And of course, don't forget, Magic's an amazing game. Don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. And a big shout out to all the fantastic patrons I have supporting this channel each and every day. That's right, guys. The patrons make it happen. They allow for daily created content with their generous donations. Thanks again for being there. Patrons rock. First off, welcome to the Ramble Jamble. Coffee's gone. The disappointment begins, but I still have water, so we're okay. So, the Commander deck thing is very interesting. To see the sales fall off the way they have isn't normal. Warhammer 40k went through multiple reprintings. Doctor Who, right off a cliff. Sales just ended, and the stores I talked to, oh, I'm not reordering. Nah. Distributor, nah. They can sit on it. I don't want it. It's a real telling thing when, like, basically every single store gives you the same kind of story, right? For the ones I hit up. I didn't hit up every store this time, but I hit quite a few. So I look at it and I go, okay, so stores are learning. Wizards will learn from that And with new products coming out, if you just hang on a little bit, we know it's going to be discounted. We know the prices fall to obscenely low levels for anyone who's trying to buy them. I wonder if you could actually almost buy the entire Commander deck now, piece by piece, and save yourself money. I'd be very curious to see if you could try to build the entire Commander deck, get the deck list together, build the whole deck on TCG Player, and see if you can get somebody to ship you the entire deck. But I wonder how much it would cost. I'd be fascinated to see if, you know what? Maybe I'll test that out. Either way, going forward as they experiment with this, they're going to try to raise their prices. I can see it happening, and you can see it inching its way up each time. Because they recognize, yeah, we gave you some new cards. It's another way of introducing new cards, and it gets kind of selective. We can secret layer them later. We have reprint equity that way. They have a lot of avenues coming from the Commander precons of the higher level, like the Lord of the Rings ones and stuff. They've got some potential there. I find that very fascinating to me to see. It's just another outlet door that they're using to get ahead. It's unique. It's unique. I didn't really notice it until a couple of weeks ago. I was looking up a whole bunch of stuff, and I go, well, is this right? And you start looking at the sales and the data, you're like, so crazy stuff. Either way, great having you guys here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. And you know what? Before you know it, it's going to be the holidays, man. What do you get people for Christmas this year? I know what I want. I want a 20K.